Hello there, this is Hugo for Retroelectric. Today I'm going to be going over some parts for a $500 gaming computer that can max out any modern game at around 1080p 60 FPS at, I'm going to say, medium to high quality settings. That'll depend on the game, but let's get right into it. To start us off, I've gone with the AMD FX-6300 hex-core processor. It has a base clock speed of 3.5 GHz that'll turbo up to 4.1 in extreme scenarios. It's a good price for what you're getting, as always, with AMD. Of course, it's got 6 cores, so that's going to handle any task you throw at it with ease. It's not going to be the bottleneck in this system. For the RAM, I've chosen the Dell 4GB set. I chose it purely for value. There was no other, tendencies playing into this decision. It really doesn't matter who you buy it from. If you can get it cheaper away from Dell, then go with that. I just chose Dell because it was the cheapest I could find. For the graphics card, I've gone with the SAPPHIRE Radeon R9 380. It's got 2 gigs of video memory, so that'll be enough for playing at 1080p, for which this system is designed. It can support the latest DirectX, which is DirectX 12. And I'd say you can expect around 60 to 80 FPS at 1080p on all modern games, like I said, at high or medium settings, depending on the game of course. With CSGO you'll be able to max out all the settings. With something like Crisis or Battlefield you might have to turn them down a bit, but you'll still be able to play them at a quite high frame rate at 1080p. For the motherboard, I've gone with the MSI 760 GMA P35FX AM3 Plus motherboard. It's quite a mouthful, but what it boils down to is it's got SATA 6GB, which is pretty much a standard nowadays. It's got USB 3, so internal, which means on your backplate of your computer you'll have more than enough connections, and it's quite cheap. Again, very big factor in our computer. I've also thrown in a 1TB hard drive. What can I say? This is, again, like I've said, something that everyone needs. I've gone with 1TB one, but look, if you can find a 1TB one in an old computer, then I'd just go with that, because really this is something that you spend about $50 on, but can easily save those $50 if you just have one lying around, and you'll find a lot of people do. Just, if you don't have one lying around, you can just buy the cheapest one online. I think it was a Western Digital one at the time of recording, but I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, just buy the cheapest 1TB drive you can find. For the case, I've chosen the Thermaltake V3 Black AMD edition. It's got a clear side case It's got a clear side window if you're into that, so you can see all your components inside. It's got 4 3.5 internal bays, so more than enough for expansion later on. It's got 1 USB 3 on the front and 1 USB 2. So not preferable, but you'd want 2 USB 3s, but really when you're using it you'll find it doesn't matter that much. And of course it's got the audio interface on the front as well. For the power supply, I've chosen the Thermaltake TR2 TR-500 watt power supply. It's cheap, and I'd be lying to you if I told you that's not the reason I chose it. 500 watts is more than enough for this system, but like I said with the 1TB hard drive, if you have another PSU lying around from an older build or from one of your friends that he's not using or she's not using anymore, you may as well stick that in your computer and save yourself a bit of money and help the environment while you're at it. So that pretty much wraps up our sub $500 gaming computer. Like I said, it'll run any game on medium to high settings at 1080p 60 FPS. You can expect to do some video editing as well if you'd like to. With the 6 cores, it's more than up to that task. And of course we've got a few other good components in there as well that can be transferable to your next build if that's something you plan on doing as well. Anyway, so thanks for watching as always. If you've liked this video, remember to like it and all that good stuff, and also remember, subscribing doesn't cost you a cent, but it helps me out in more ways than you can imagine. Anyway, I've been Hugo for Retroelectric. Thank you for watching.